Ooh, give us teaching on your message that you are light and that in you is no darkness at all. That is the question brought to the text. The first verse given is Joshua chapter 13, verse 29. And Moses gave priestly inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh. And this was the covenant inheritance of the half-tribe of the children of Manasseh by their families. The verse does not use the word light, but it places the question inside covenant inheritance, priesthood, and family. That is where the teaching begins. The message that YHWH is light and in him is no darkness at all is not first a statement about brightness. It is a covenant statement about an undivided portion. The inheritance given to Manasseh is called priestly. The text links the gift to the priesthood. But the deeper teaching comes when the text shows that for the priests, the inheritance is not land at all. In Numbers chapter 18, verse 20, YH speaks to Aaron. You will have no priestly inheritance in their land, neither will you have any share among them. I am your share, and your covenant inheritance among the covenant children of Israel. In Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 9 says the same. Levi has no part or priestly inheritance with his kinsmen. Which is his covenant inheritance according as YHWH Elohim promised him. This is the central word. The light is the inheritance of YHWH himself. The priestly gift is not a plot of ground or a portion of riches. The gift is the giver. In him is no darkness, because in him there is no mixture of another portion. A share of land can be divided. A portion of riches can be weighed, but Yahweh as the inheritance cannot be divided. That is the teaching the text carries. The text also teaches the light through seeing and living. In John chapter 14, verse 19, Messiah says, Still for a little while, and the cosmos sees me no more, but you see me. Because I live, you will live also. The cosmos does not see. The covenant people see. The seeing is tied to life. The light is not an abstract brightness. The light is the living one, and to see him is to live. In Titus chapter 3, verses 4 and 5, the text says that the integrity and love of Elohim our Savior toward mankind appeared. It did not appear by works of covenant faithfulness that we have done. It appeared according to his covenant mercy. He saved us by the bathing of new birth and the renewing of the sacred spirit. The appearance of that mercy is the appearing of light. It did not come by human merit. That is why in him there is no darkness. The mercy is not mixed with works. It is pure. Psalm 119, verse 104 says, Through your precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. The precept is the light. The false way is the darkness. The psalmist does not say Yahweh has darkness. He says the false way is hated because the precept gives understanding. This is not a call to despise people. It is the recognition that the mixed way has no place in the portion of YHWH. The covenant people are set apart for the pure way. The text also places this teaching in the appointed season. Leviticus chapter 23 verse 2 says, The appointed place of YHWH is commissioned for sacred assembly and for my appointed seasons. The light is not arbitrary. It comes in the season YHWH has set. That is why the counsel is to seek the light in its season, and why the text warns that to neglect the appointed season is to bear covenant violation. The darkness in the text is not in YHWH. The darkness is in covenant violation, in trusting in chariots, in serving foreign Elohim, in desecrating the holy name. The text names all of that, but it locates the darkness in the creature, not in the Creator. There is a tension worth naming. The half-tribe of Manasseh receives priestly inheritance, and yet the priests of Levi receive no land inheritance because YHWH is their inheritance. The text does not explain this away. The most faithful reading is that the land gift still points toward the deeper gift. The light is not the plot of ground. The light is the one who gives it. The measurement of this reading is affirmative. The polarity is yes, not no. The anomaly is strong, and all gates pass. The convergence across identity, inheritance, and priesthood exceeds the strong anomaly threshold with multi-channel confirmation. The probability of yes is 100% in this reading, and the probability of no is 0. The anomaly detection E-value is far beyond the required level. 6 channels are active. The false discovery correction still holds. This is a strong pattern. But the pattern is not the promise. The promise is in the words. The strongest channel is priesthood, and the text itself is saturated with priestly inheritance. That is where the text and the measurement meet. The presence of the ark was in this selection too. Joshua chapter 3 verse 3 says, "When you see the ark of the covenant of YHWH Elohim, and the priests the Levites bearing it, then you will pull up from your place and go after it." The ark is present, but presence is not leverage. The camp that knew the ark was present still fell that day. So the recognition of the light is reverence, not direction. The light is present, but the covenant people still must obey. The presence of the light does not make darkness in the camp harmless. So the answer to the question is this. The message that YHWH is light and in him is no darkness at all is the message of an unalloyed covenant inheritance. The light is YHWH himself as the covenant share of his people. The light is seen by the covenant people and is life. The light appeared by covenant mercy, not by works. The light is known through the precepts, and the false way is hated because it is false. The light has an appointed season, and to miss it is covenant violation. The darkness in the text is the darkness of covenant breach and false trust, not darkness in YHWH. Alone, that is the light. That is why in him there is no darkness at all. The lead verses drawn in this altar of reception session were Joshua chapter 13, verse 29, Luke chapter 8, verse 29, 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 10, Psalms chapter 119, verse 109, Joshua chapter 5, verse 9, Psalms chapter 119, verse 104. 94 further verses were drawn in this session. This concludes today's interpretation at the altar of